Hey, this is Cheryl Mintz. Welcome to my presentation. Before we get started, make sure you register at my booth so I can send you more information. And you might win the door prize at the raffle. Or you can send me an email and I can send you information. So let's get started with the presentation.
Hey there, good afternoon. I'm Cheryl Mintz. I'm the Senior Executive Director that works with your district. And I just want to take a quick moment to see if somebody is on the computer and can send a quick chat comment to let me know that y'all can hear me. Excellent. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I also really appreciate that you guys have taken time out of your busy days to join me. My goal today is to go over some highlights about education in general, highlights about Lamar University, and then I'm going to touch on every program. And my focus and my goal is to provide you guys with some information about the programs that you might not be able to get otherwise by just looking at the description or high-level information, and also to consider in making the right choice for yourself. I want to just take a quick moment to just thank you guys for all the work. And I've heard some amazing stories, and you guys are absolutely amazing people. And I imagine you're really excited to be in the summer months now, even though we don't quite know what we can anticipate in the fall, but at least we have our summer. And it's a great time for you guys to be learning some information about these online programs. And I'm going to go ahead and start. But before I do, I'm going to tell you a couple really important things. This is going to go very fast. I will send a detailed follow-up email to you. So upon completion, and after my next meeting, you'll get an email from me that will have all the important partnership links. It'll have the links to the resources, financial aid, and grants. It'll even have a link if you're ready to apply now or in the future. You can push this link and it ensures you go through the partnership. It also ensures I'm your backup now and forever in the future if you ever do begin to start. So if you're putting this off and you want it at a future date, that's fine as well. I just want you to know that these are the critical links. They're always going to be most current because they're hyperlinked to the partnership information. So sometimes you can go out and Google and get old information, and I don't want that to happen to you guys. Let's go ahead and get started with the presentation. I know there's a few folks on the phone, so I'll try to be as detailed as possible for you guys not following along with the program itself, okay? But first, what I want to do is tell you that Lamar University is actually 75,000 alumni strong and growing. We're one of the fastest growing public universities in Texas. At a glance, we're home to like I said, the largest graduate school in Texas. We're part of the Texas system of schools with A&M, UT, Stephen F. Austin. There's Lamar University. We're proud of that. Lamar prepares about 30% of all Texas administrators. That does not even include the folks that go into like athletic directorship or supervisory or management in the district level or other administrative roles. We are ranked number one nationally in school counseling and leadership, and we are actually number one nationally in online programs for our educators. 96% of our graduates would recommend Lamar to a friend. I think that's probably the biggest kudo I could share. The university's enrollment has increased by 78% over the last 10 years. And we are considered the most diverse in the college system. We are considered a best buy. We are top 5 in special education. We're top 6 in educational leadership across the board. We're in the top 10 of all universities in the nation in most affordable online programs. So you're getting quality and cost. And we're considered the best education master's degrees of choice. So, why go back for your master's? A few statistics to share with you. Well over a quarter of education positions in Texas will actually require a graduate degree by 2021. This is by the Georgetown University Center of Education and Workforce. It's also an investment in your future. It can actually increase your income and impact your TRS. It can also impact your growth and your happiness on the job. But for the TRS purposes, it actually takes the highest 3 years of salary when you move forward. So sometimes being given the opportunity to move into a higher position with a master's can give you that higher salary and higher retirement income. Statistics show, the National Center of Education Statistics to be specific, that students of teachers that hold master's degrees consistently outperform those who hold only a bachelor's degree. So the benefits, as I mentioned, more upward mobility and career pathing, and master's degree teachers earn more than bachelor's degree teachers. And I'm just going to show you a chart here. And I know if you're on the phone, you're not going to be able to see it. But, I put this occupational chart here. It's just a really high level thing that shows you how many jobs are opening up for teachers and how much opportunity there's for promotability. All post-secondary school teachers, for example, employment rate is supposed to increase by 550,000 projected new jobs between the years of 2014 and 2024. So why now? Master's degrees actually will help improve your teaching skills. They'll help revitalize your classroom, help invigorate what you're doing. They're quick, they're short, they're excellent ways to add new tools to your toolbox to make things more fun, more creative, and also more current and state-of-the-art. So if you've been teaching for a while, it's fun to get a master's because you can actually bring those new tools into your classroom. If you're a new teacher, it gives you those new tools and fundamentals and puts you at par with everybody else quickly. With every degree, the higher up you go, the higher the leadership skills that are obtained. So you obtain more leadership skills just naturally and sometimes within the course content. It allows you to seek other positions outside the classroom or even inside the classroom in specialty roles. Of course, teachers are continuous learners. They're the biggest group of continuous learners that I know. And it helps improve your intellectual growth and also gives you the opportunity for increased positions, thus increased income, and also networking. The more we get involved with additional programs and skills and higher level degrees, the more networking that we do on a natural basis. Isn't that true? I used to work at the Johnson Space Center and I did organizational training and development. So that's where I got my adult education experience. But I also had 25 years of HR background. So I'm able to kind of apply skills with where you're going on your career path. So if you guys do have any questions after we go through these programs and want to know more or just chat with somebody about it based on your experience, I'm here for you for that. But why choose Lamar University? There's a lot of great universities out there, and there's no doubt about that. Lamar University actually opened their doors in 1923, so the father of education in Texas. We actually started the online platform in 2006, where a lot of other universities actually followed our model because it worked so well. It is designed for the working professional. Courses are quick, they're short, they're 100% online. There's flexibility, there's no mandatory login times. That's really important. You guys have lives, many of you have kids, hobbies outside of school and inside of school, so you don't have a lot of time. And so being able to design your own schedule within your program is important. We have multiple start dates per year. We have 2 on the horizon that I'll talk to you about. They're very critical. Our programs are all regionally and nationally accredited. Regional accreditation is actually a more stringent accreditation than national. We meet both. The courses are actually taught by on-campus professors, and they want to see you succeed. The feedback I get from students is that they're extremely interactive. They're there to help address questions. They do respond. They do work with you, and they actually get very involved. We get some of the best kudos from our professors that I've heard. All of our programs are 100% online. The content, the coursework is all 100% online with 24/7 access and technical support if you need it. We never know what those needs are going to be, but you will have that support if you need it. I'm going to go ahead and go into our programs now, and we're going to talk about each program, and I'm going to go into some of the highlights. If you're looking at the screen, I'm just filtering through on our programs. These are our master's programs that you see right here. On a high level, it's Ed Administration, Ed Technology Leadership, Digital Learning and Leading, Teacher Leadership, which is our curriculum and instructional technology, Special Ed, Special Education with Diagnostician Certification, Professional School Counseling, Couples, Marriage and Family Counseling, Clinical Mental Health Counseling. And we have some certifications that I'll be talking to immediately after these programs, so you'll know how to get into this. All of our masters are non-thesis based, so there's no thesis required, okay? They're all 100% online. They're all the same cost at $275 per credit hour, plus a small distance learning fee, which is very minor. Putting our programs about a third of the cost of other programs out there. So I'm going to go ahead and go into our programs now at a high level. First and foremost is our ed administration and our ed technology leadership. This is our mid-management certification preparation programs. And I put these both up here together because they both prepare you for that principal certification, which is also considered the mid-management certification. Now, individuals hear this and they think it's just for principalship, and it is for principalship or assistant principal. But it's not just for that. It's for any certified teacher aspiring to move into leadership in general. So what that means to you is that if you're looking to be an instructional coach or specialist, or if you're in athletics and you want to be an athletic director or coordinator, or if you're interested in maybe taking curriculum and instruction, building a foundation in your classroom, or special ed and doing the same thing, and then moving up that ladder into the district level, you can go into administration that way as well and not do principal or assistant principalship. So it's for a myriad of different leadership positions. It's not just for principal anymore. Now, the ed administration is our leadership program. It's our most popular program. It's 10 5-week courses. 10 5-week courses. You can get that done in as early as 15 months. One of the important things about this program is that it is our most popular program. If you know you want to go into leadership, you might step into one of these areas. The primary difference between these two programs is the ed technology leadership has 2 more additional 5-week courses. So it's 12 5-week courses instead of 10. And what it does is it takes the equivalent of 4 state-of-the-art technology courses and filters that throughout the program. So not only do you get your mid-management and your principal certification preparation, but you'll also get state-of-the-art technology. And what that does is it prepares educators to proficiently use technology to serve as leaders in and out of the classroom. Our technology leaders across the nation are actually considered key individuals for important problem solving in the district and in school. So it's not a bad one to add to your repertoire if you like technology. It also is a way to enhance that technology in the classroom, because we know how to talk to kids now is through technology. We also know it's a creative way to do almost about everything. And now that we're in this environment of virtual reality and virtual and technical communications, it's a great add-on for a lot more reasons than just that. But it's whether you want to stay in a classroom or eventually move out of the classroom, technology is a nice add-on. But what I was saying is if you're not interested in technology, maybe it's not where your passion is. And be honest with yourself, because not everyone likes technology, and that's okay. Go for the ed administration. They're both just equally as strong. The other one just adds emphasis and additional specialization. Digital learning and leading is our 100% technology program. So if you are a librarian or you know a librarian, let them know about this program. Also, it's a great way to add technology to the classroom if you're very passionate about technology. You can also start your own computer group, whether it's before or after school program, or if you're in IT. The cool thing about this program is that it brings people in from all over. It's our only program that doesn't require a teaching certification or minimum years of teaching. All of our programs, except this one, require 2 years of teaching and a teaching certification, but this one does not. So it brings in people, it brings in our teachers because it's built for educators, but it also brings in people from our IT, our professional development group, our human resources, people from corporate America, so that the learning that you have in that classroom comes from a vast array of different sources. It's pretty cool. And the feedback on all those programs is pretty fantastic. Our teacher leadership, there's several of you on this call that are interested in this program. It's a very popular program as well. It's our curriculum and instructional technology. This program is 12 5-week courses. It touches on leadership and instructional technology tools. So it prepares you for leadership, but not the principal certification. And it has 2 specializations involved. But before I go into that, what this focuses on is increasing your knowledge and disseminating curriculum, implementation, research-based instructional strategies, and using assessment for learning, and how to effectively motivate students and manage your classrooms. It also helps you build on communities and also about the current laws affecting the teaching profession. And it helps you gain more confidence in the classroom if you're a newer teacher. And if you're not a more established teacher, it allows you to bring in some of those new tools. Now, 2 specializations are in ESL and gifted and talented. And that is an option to you. It's not a mandatory. The program standalone by itself is very strong. Let's say you already have an ESL certification. Maybe you want to add gifted and talented to your toolbox, or maybe the other way around. What you can do is what this does is it takes the equivalent of 4 of these areas of specialization, say it's ESL, 4 courses in ESL, and it threads it throughout the program so that your program is designed with ESL as a specialization, or gifted and talented if that's one you choose. So it allows you to add those tools and those program information to your toolbox, so that if you want to do small group, or if you see yourself you have a passion, and maybe we all have inclusion now, so perhaps you have a heavy load of those individuals in your classroom and you want to learn more about that and be more of a support to them or assistance to them, that's an option to you. So it's a very, very strong program. If you're a newer teacher and you take this program, it helps you build a very strong foundation in your classroom, and then later on, as you move into your career opportunities, you can step into instructional coach. You can add the mid-management certification, which is a principal certification, and you can go into other levels, or even our DIAG certification. So you can add on other programs to this, or special ed as well, which I'm going to talk about right now. The special ed program is 12 5-week courses. 12 5-week courses. When I talk about 12 5-week courses, that's 1 week, 1 5-week course with 1 week off. 1 5-week course with 1 week of transition. So every course is a 6-week cycle. It goes pretty quickly, but you get through that course content really quick. And if it's a 12 5-week course program, like both of these are, it's about 18 months to completion. That includes the 1 week of transition between each 5-week course. Okay. Let me just say a few words on the special ed. It does touch on some of the high need areas. So it's 12 5-week courses, and it touches on 11 areas of the high need spectrum. So almost every 5 weeks is a new pedagogy you can bring into your classroom. So it's extremely useful whether you're a new teacher or a seasoned teacher, because it brings those state-of-the-art tools into your classroom to where you can utilize new ways to reach your kids. And now with the specialization in diagnostician, a lot of people are really excited about that. Now, if you don't already have a master's, and you want diagnostician, which I know there's a couple of you on here that mentioned the certification in diagnostician, which I'll talk about more in just a moment. If you don't already have a master's, you will need to have the master's before you can step into a certification. But it's not all bad, because if you do that, you can add these state-of-the-art special education tools to your toolbox. Not only that, when you get a master's instead of a certification, you can also, in many cases, if you qualify, use teacher loan forgiveness and Teach Grant to supplement your course costs. Okay, and I'll talk about that too. That's under our financial aid and grants. So I'll talk to you more about that. So sometimes, even if you have a master's, some folks opt to go ahead and go with a second master's, which is not uncommon. A lot of people will go for a second or third master's. Why? I'll tell you, because it offers you expanded skill base in many different areas quickly and affordably, and sometimes covered by grants. So sometimes people will go for multiple masters and have curriculum instruction, special ed, maybe add a certification on in DIAG, maybe add their administration on. So there's a lot of different ways to manage that career path for yourself. Okay, so let's talk about school counseling, or all the counseling programs. There's several on this call that are looking for counseling. Our counseling programs are highly recognized nationally. So they're all 60 credit hours. Okay, they're all 16 5-week courses, but there's some difference in practicum, and there's some differences in the focus on which program you might take for different reasons. Our most common program for teachers is our professional school counseling. This program is designed for individuals who want to counsel in schools. However, at the end of this program, you have the content to sit for your LPC, which is your license to practice outside of schools. So it adds the best of both worlds. You have your opportunity to counsel in schools and outside of schools with that certification. Now, you have the content. It's your choice whether you take that exam and be certified, but you do have all the content to do that, and that way you can counsel both in and out of schools. Many of our school counselors are now going back and making sure they have the LPC. At one time, Texas actually has been very has been behind national standards for many years. So about 3 years ago, we started seeing a change in counseling in Texas. Lamar was one of the first universities who stepped up to try to make our counseling programs meet national standards. Other universities are slowly following. About 3 or 4 years ago, we offered a 36 credit hour program, and then we migrated to a 48 credit hour program, and now we're at 60 credit hours, okay, for our counseling program. So we do meet the national standards. They're fully accredited. And the professional school counseling will allow you to do your practicum inside of the school and educational world. So you'll have a practicum and you'll have hours that you have to meet, and you'll work under the advice of a current counselor, probably in your school. It has one week face-to-face. It is an internship where you attend. It will be somewhere near the school, most likely, but it's an opportunity for you to meet with your peers that week. You'll be getting one-on-one feedback from your professors, and it's actually a time that's really important to you, and people walk away from this with lifelong connections. The other part of that is that you will have small group breakout training on current issues. It could be something on LGBTQ communities. It could be something on how to handle situations in a pandemic, or maybe suicide prevention. Any hot topic of the time, they'll have small breakout training. Now, the Counseling and Development, Marriage, Couple, and Family Counseling is our program geared for individuals who want to counsel only outside of schools. It, too, is a 60 credit hour program. This program, you'll have to get your content for your practicum work outside of the school environment. So you'll be working with independent agencies in the area to get that practicum work done. It does allow you for 2 certifications, though, both the LPC and the LMFT, which is the Marriage Family Counseling certification. Both are very similar. Both require 3,000 hours. So you can get both, but you'll have to do the 3,000 for both. And the difference is that the only difference in those hours is that they're done in a different setting. And you don't have to know all this now. You don't even have to decide what certifications that you want to pursue. You can do that later. But this has 2 1-week offsite face-to-faces, similar to the professional school counseling, but 2 1-week face-to-faces. And again, this program is geared for individuals who want to counsel outside of schools only. Okay. Now, the clinical mental health counseling is our highly selective program. It is actually for those seriously clinically minded individuals who want to counsel in those environments. There's a 2 to 3-step interview process. 2 are panels, and it is our only program. If you're looking at this program, the clinical mental health counseling is our only program that requires the GRE. Now, I have great news for you. What that means is all of our other masters don't require the GRE, and the GRE is the entrance exam. A lot of teachers don't like to take that entrance exam. They like to give tests, but maybe not take them, right? But it's true to an extent, and this is the only program that requires you to take the GRE as part of the application process. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about certification programs. There's quite a few of you on this call that want the certification. The important thing to keep in mind for our certification is that you must have a master's before you can step into any one of the certification programs. If you have an interesting situation and you want to talk to me about it, shoot me a text, email, call later, and we can chat on the phone. I'm easy to talk to. I'm just here to kind of understand you better so that we can get you in the program, okay? Identify the right fit for you and get you where you're going. So our principal education certification program can be completed in as early as 9 months, as well as our superintendent certification program. Both are 6 5-week courses. 6 5-week courses, that's 9 months, with 1 week in between each 5-week course. So it's really about a 7-month program if you take out that 1 week, but that 1 week is invaluable. It allows you to transition, okay? So it gives you a little bit of that time. For the principal education, the requirement is a teaching cert, master's degree, and 2 years of teaching experience. And again, it's not just for individuals wanting to step into principal. It's called principal certification, but it's not just for those wanting to step into principalship, okay? So keep that in mind. Superintendent education requires those same qualifications, except in addition, 1 year of administrative experience. That can be as a principal, that can be an administrative role at the district level. It can follow a lot of different areas that you can get that experience in. Now, our program certificate in mental health counseling is actually our LPC bridge. So you heard me talk earlier about the 36 and 48 credit hour programs that we had previously. This allows those individuals who got those programs to come back and get that LPC. But if you were one of those folks or know somebody who got the 36 or 48 credit hour program, have them reach out to me. Let's get them in this and get the LPC bridge. We will handle individuals on a case-by-case basis. And we will try to figure out what courses you took so we know which courses and coursework you have to take to bridge that LPC to get that certification. Okay. Now, our diagnostication certification, wow, this one is hot right now. Most districts are about 12 diagnosticians down. That means they're short, 12 to 14, and that's probably being conservative. They need diagnosticians badly. These are the individuals who work with individual development plans and then pass on the assessments that they do to the teachers and the team that works with that individual and the parents. So they do the individual development plans. There's a high need for this, whether you're in the classroom or whether you want to move up out of the classroom into a diagnostician role or do it as a part-time basis. There's also a big drive right now for people getting this certification so they can come back and retire and have a second career option. So that is definitely an option for you as well. The coursework for the certification is 21 hours and it's 7 5-week courses. Okay. Remember I talked about the SPED with diagnostician specialization? That's 12 5-week courses. So it's just 4 more 5-week courses if you want to take the master's instead of the certification. Keep that in mind. Sometimes that's an advantage. Other times it's not. If you're one of those individuals who just want to get that certification and move on, that's fine too. You have to, the additional qualification for this certification is that you need to have 3 years of teaching. Okay. So how far can you go with an MED or certification from Lamar? Let's just do a quick review. Department chair, team lead, master teacher, whether you're in curriculum coordinator or instructional coordinator or even instructional coach, school or district administrator, athletic director or coordinator, college or university educational administrator, state or federal public policy administrator, second part-time or full-time career. That's a big one. It's a real big one. So we're affordable, right? I mentioned that earlier. We're about a third of the cost of other universities, and we're proud to be able to still say that. It's $275 per credit hour as a baseline, and I broke it down by our credit hour per program. So if it's a 30 credit hour program, which is our ed administration, it's only 10 5-week courses. Okay, so that's about 15 months. The core cost is $82.50. That's it. Other universities that surround us are probably 2 to 3 times that, starting at maybe $25,000. Our ranking is extremely high, and our exam rate is about 96% pass rate, which is pretty phenomenal. Now, remember, this may not be the bottom cost for you either, because you may, for these master's programs, qualify for some additional financial aid, which I'm going to get to in a second. So the core cost for the 36 credit hour program is $9,900. And the core for the 60 credit hour program, our counseling programs, is $1,650, which is absolutely amazing. Our certifications vary because they have different credit hours. Our principal and superintendent certification, because they are 18 credit hours, they are financial aid eligible. All of our certifications are. It's just $49.50. And our diagnostician, because it's 21 credit hours, is $57.75, and our clinical mental health counseling certification is $49.50. Okay, that may vary based on how many hours you're bringing into it. Okay, because the certification is the LPC bridge, so we'll work with you on an individual basis. So how are you going to fund your program? That's a big question. It's really important. It's very legitimate. First of all, by starting our program, there's already a lower financial footprint because we offer you a lower course per credit hour cost to begin with. But I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the grants available to you, okay? First and foremost, there's financial aid. There's FAFSA, okay? FAFSA is a loan. So when you take out a loan, you have a loan to forgive. Also, when you take out a loan, you have to pay it back. But that's okay, because one of the things you might want to think about is that each course is a 6-week cycle. It's 5 weeks with 1 week of transition. Sometimes that's faster than we're paid. So sometimes it's easier to have financial aid cover that cost as you go and take that burden of stress off your plate, and then you pay that back at the end of your program because you're given 6 months to pay that loan back, right? The Teach Grant eligible degree programs are our special ed and our special ed with diagnostician. If you're a current special ed teacher and you're looking at the DIAG or the special ed or special ed with DIAG, you are going to qualify for you may qualify for two grants, the Teach Grant and the Teacher Loan Forgiveness. The Teach Grant is actually a grant that will apply to your FAFSA upfront. So when you get into the program, once you're enrolled, you fill out this short 2-page document, submit it. They usually finalize it by your second course, and they apply up to about $7,400 to your program, but they do it in 2 segments. Those are the first half up front, and as you enter the second year, you'll fill out a document to let them know that you're still in that program, and they'll give you the remaining balance. So they give it to financial aid, it pays your program. At the end of your program, you have a small balance, right? So if, let's say you're in the special ed program, it's 12 credit hours, 18 months, 9,900. If you subtract 7,400 from that, that leaves a small balance, right? So you have that small balance, and you can use that small balance to be covered by the Teacher Loan Forgiveness, which I'm going to talk to you right now. The basic qualification for this is that you teach in a low-income school. You're currently in a low-income campus. You've taught for 4 years, and you'll teach for 4 years in a low-income campus out of 8. So let's say you got moved to a campus that wasn't and moved back. As long as you've done 4 years out of 8, you'll still qualify. Now, the Teacher Loan Forgiveness is for any of our programs. So whether it's a high need program like special ed or a non-high need program like ed administration or school counseling or teacher leadership, you have to have 5 consecutive years of teaching in a designated low-income school. It doesn't necessarily mean Title I. You can be low income without being Title I. You have to be a teacher in good standing, okay, and a classroom teacher. And no financial, you have to be in financial good standing too, which just means you can have as many loans out as you want, but none of them can be in default. And then you may get $5,000 back in loan forgiveness at the end of your program. So if you took out FAFSA, you now have a loan to forgive, and you have 6 months when you're done with your program that you have to fulfill that obligation and start paying that back. During that period of time, you apply to the Teacher Loan Forgiveness and submit that document. And if you get $5,000 back, if you're in the curriculum instruction, for example, that's $9,900. That's our teacher leadership. It'll bring that full cost of the program down to about $4,900 because you'll get $5,000 back. But you have to be a full-time teacher in good standing. And then the $17,500 loan forgiveness pertains to individuals in the high need program, such as special education. We do have the special ed program. So if you're a special ed teacher, you may get up to $17,500. But if you use the teacher loan forgiveness, you may not need both. Okay, you may just need this to cover the remaining balance. Now, this is a full bank. So if you happen to use any of the teacher loan forgiveness at your undergraduate level, they will use that as part of your bank. So if you use $5,000 at the undergraduate level, you won't have $5,000 at the master's level, but you still may have some bank for additional loan forgiveness. Does that make sense? It does get a little complex, but don't let it be rocket science. There's high-level information that you just need to retain. The biggest advice I can give you on this is when you fill out that form at the end of your program, take your time. Make sure you fill out all the information 100% correctly. Check your start dates with the TEA and your HR office. Make sure everything's right. Don't put you started on September 4th when you started on September 5th, because that'll kick you right out of the system. Remember, it's a government organization. So that's the number one reason people are declined, not because they didn't qualify. Okay. Hopefully that's helpful to you. Most of us know about public service loan forgiveness. After 120 on-time consecutive payments, you may have the remaining balance discharged. So if you've been paying on an undergraduate program, for example, or a really high cost master's program, this may apply to you if you're still paying on your loans. If you ever consolidate, please be careful to obtain any grants or loans that you might, not loans, but any grants that you might qualify before you consolidate on any program, because it may prevent you from qualifying for it once you consolidate. Just keep that in mind. I'm moving into additional resources to you. We do accept Hazelwood if you're military. So when you talk to your program specialist, ask that they transfer you over so you can talk to them more about it. There's a lot of scholarships available in the world. One place you can go is fastweb.com. I'll put that in my follow-up email to you with my resources. A lot of people just go in and plug in the program they're seeking right now in their email, and they'll send you information. You can apply to those and sometimes get additional funds and resources. All right, so it's a great way to check out what might be available to you in addition to the other grants that are offered to teachers. And in all honesty, a lot of teachers don't like to take out FAFSA or another loan. My theory and philosophy is houses, education, and cars are what you take loans out for, right? If you don't have to, but by doing this, it's the one area teachers get a benefit. It's the one benefit available to you if you use your money smartly. So that's why I really want to make sure you understand how these grants work so that you can understand and decide for yourself if that's right for you. So we have two very important start dates on the horizon this summer, and it's a great time to get started because you can, especially the upcoming one that starts in July 13th, because you can actually get started before the fall transition and kind of get sorted and kind of understand, because a lot of us don't have any idea what the fall transition is going to look like, do we? So it does allow you to do that. And you have to apply by June 15th for that, which is right on target. Okay, so if you're interested, be sure you let me know so we can move you to the top of the line for support. The next start date is August 18th, and you'll need to apply by July 21st for that date. Now, what happens next? First and foremost, know this. I'm going to send you a very detailed follow-up email. Don't go click on any other links. Don't go to Lamar. Don't go Google. Please don't, because I want you to be pipelined through the partnership. It helps your district. It helps you because if you run into any problems or glitches, I'm always your backup to help you out. And I'll also make sure you get all the current links, and they're all hyperlinks, so you can click on these links anytime, whether you want to click on it today or tomorrow or this week or next week or in a year or 2 years or 3. Okay, so just remember, you can always reach back out to me. My contact information is that email. I have testimonials from current students and professors and what a classroom looks like. All these things at a click of a button in my email. I'll put the upcoming start dates. I'll have requirements at the bottom. I'll even have some program highlights at the top, just some comments and thoughts there to make you think a little bit, make sure you're in the right program. A lot of great details. People are like, why do you send such a long email? Why? I'm going to tell you why. Because that way you can have it at one click. It's right there in one email, everything you need, okay? I just kind of feel like information is all over the place, and this was the right way to do it. So you'll have that email from me. Attached will be the financial aid and grant resources, okay? So you can click on those buttons, go read about those as well, and do your own due diligence. Next, I work with an internal partner who works with the district, and so I'll have them give you a courtesy call, and that's all it is, from a 409 area code, so keep your eye open. They just want to make sure you're asking the right questions for your program, and they will be with you if you decide to apply, to make sure you get everything in correctly and on time, and also they can transfer you to other areas like financial aid if you have questions, but they're a great additional resource for you. So even if you're not ready, pick up the phone, take their name and number, let them know to call you back in 2 months, 6 months, a year, or to help you now. Next step would be to complete the application and FAFSA. You can always find out what money is available to you. At the master's level, it's not dependent on family income, only at the undergraduate level. So you can still apply to FAFSA and have it help pay for throughout your program. Next step would be to register for classes and earn your degree and make a huge impact. So when the program specialist calls you, if you're looking at this chart, just a few more things to think about. They're going to ask you, hey, what's your GPA? So know it. Hey, or if you don't know it, that's okay. But that's okay, because sometimes we have to send off for those transcripts if you don't know it. But let me add one more thing in my email. I do add an electronic transcript code transfer. So some of your universities that you've attended will accept it. When you call them and ask for transcripts, you can ask them if they accept that code, because if they do, they'll shoot those forms right over, and it's easy for you. So I have that code in my email as well at the bottom. So look for it in red. Next steps would be, it takes about 15 minutes to complete the application after you talk to the program specialist. You have to have computer access to do that, which I bet all of you do. It says here a form of payment, but we are waiving your application fees right now through our partnership. So I'm really happy to tell you that. So if you're undecided, or if you want to go through the process and find out where you stand, that's okay too. But if you're ready to get started, we're here to help you. And just as a high level recap, why Lamar University? First of all, we're highly recognized, we're highly regarded, we're the father of education in Texas, opened our doors in 1932 and paved the way for online education programs. We're part of the Texas state system of schools. All of our programs are highly recognized, affordable, they're accelerated, so you don't spend a whole lot of time in the programs, and extremely flexible, allowing you to log in anytime to do the work. We don't require the GRE, yay, except for clinical mental health counseling, okay? And we have no entrance fee. We're waiving that. I am available in response to my email after I send it to you. Look through it. If you have any questions for me, feel free to pick up the phone and give me a call. If I don't, I'm on the phone a lot and in and out of meetings. So if I don't get your call, send a quick text and say, hey, Cheryl, I dropped a quick call. Can you call me? And I definitely will as soon as I have a minute. Okay. I don't work on traditional hours, so feel free to call me anytime. You'll receive a call and detailed email from me later this evening after my next meeting, a call from your program specialist within 24 to 48 hours after my call. Look for a 409 area code. Reach out to me. I'm Cheryl Mintz. I'm the Senior Executive Director with Lamar. I'm happy to help you any way I can. Send people to me too, because I'd rather them work with me than go straight to the university and have issues or questions. And this way I'm always here to help, and we really do care. And I can help with fit. And if you guys know of anybody that you're mentoring in a paraprofessional level, send them my way. We have a bachelor completer program that's to die for. It's affordable and fast. So call or text me, cheryl.mintz@appdegrees.com, 281-467-8231. Most importantly, my email. This is the partnership link, http://degree.lamar.edu/Cheryl, Cheryl. And listen, teachers, I love you. We love you. We love everything you're doing out there. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you learned something that you didn't already know. And if you still have any questions, please let me know how I can help.
Hey, thanks for watching my presentation. I hope you learned something new today, something that will help you with your career. Send me an email or call. You can request information and I can answer any questions you have. And don't forget, if you're part of the conference, make sure you register at my booth. I'll see you there.